Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech. So, when you hit that Buy Now button, who's really doing the shopping? Is it you? Or is it an AI that's been learning your every move? We're going to get right into it. Okay, so this week we're digging into some huge shifts happening in AI, hardware, and even politics, all of which are basically rewriting the future of tech as we speak. And it all really boils down to one simple but, kind of profound question about who's in control. So that question, it's actually at the heart of a huge new lawsuit, and it's our jumping off point for understanding these new turf wars in tech. Here's what we've got on tap. We'll start with the AI turf wars, then jump into hardware battles, look at big tech's next scandals, see what happens when tech meets City Hall, and then wrap it all up. Let's get started. All right, first up, the battle for control. It is absolutely heating up in the world of software, and, it all kicks off with one of the biggest names you can think of. So what we're looking at here is this epic showdown, really. On one side, you've got Amazon saying, hey, Perplexity, your AI bots are sneaking onto our site pretending to be people. They see it as computer fraud, a threat to their whole customer relationship. But Perplexity, they're basically saying, whoa, hold on, our AI is just doing what the user told it to do. Amazon is just bullying us. It's a classic fight over who owns the customer, who gets to control that online experience. But, this whole fight between a giant platform and a scrappy AI tool, it actually points to a much bigger, much messier problem that's happening inside tons of businesses. And this is it, the Frankenstack. I love this term. It's basically this Frankenstein's monster of software that sales and revenue teams are stuck with, like a dozen different tools that don't talk to each other. And get this, it means people are spending over 70% of their day just fighting with software instead of, actually talking to customers. This isn't just inefficient, it's a huge weak spot. And it's exactly the kind of problem that new AI-first companies like Revo, who just pulled in $80 million, are designed to completely blow up. And this really gets to the heart of it. AI isn't just another feature you tack on. It's a whole new way of thinking. I love this quote from investor Vinod Khosla. In the old world, users had to learn an application. In the new world of AI, the application learns the human. That's it, right? We're flipping the script entirely. Instead of us having to figure out clunky software, the software is finally starting to figure us out. Okay, so let's shift gears from the software to the hardware that powers it all. Because this whole AI revolution, it runs on silicon. And trust me, when you see the numbers, they are absolutely staggering. Yeah, so just look at that gap. It's huge. Nvidia is pulling in over $40 billion a quarter from its data center business. AMD, just over $4 billion. But, and this is a big but, that's not the whole picture. Nvidia is king of the AI chips, no doubt. But AMD is making some serious moves in the traditional CPU market, and they're definitely eyeing a much bigger slice of this growing AI pie. And that's really the key thing to understand. Right now, this isn't a winner-take-all situation. The demand for AI hardware is just exploding. Think about it. Every big company, even entire countries, are scrambling to build out their AI capabilities. So the pie isn't just being sliced up. The whole pie is getting bigger and bigger. It's a rising tide that can lift both Nvidia and AMD. And all of this intense demand, well, it sets the stage perfectly for the massive financial bets we're about to see. And speaking of massive bets, let's talk about what might be the single biggest payday in corporate history. Seriously. Yeah, $1 trillion. It's a number that just kind of breaks your brain, right? But this isn't just about the money. It's a high-stakes gamble by Tesla to keep Elon Musk laser-focused on the company. But a bet this big, it's definitely making some major shareholders pretty nervous. And you can see the pushback right here. Norway's sovereign wealth fund, we're talking a top 10 shareholder, voted no. They're worried about the sheer size of this thing and how it could dilute the value for everyone else. What makes this extra interesting is that it's all happening under Texas law, which lets insiders, including Musk himself, vote their own shares. It's like the perfect textbook case of key person risk, where a company's fate is just so tied to one single person. So while Tesla's making this huge bet to keep its leader, another tech giant is thinking about a totally different kind of gamble: how to get a whole new wave of users. And get this, it's Apple. They're famous for their premium prices, right? But word on the street is they're working on a cheaper MacBook. and the strategy is super interesting. They might actually use one of their advanced iPhone chips to power it, which could slash the cost but keep performance high. This would be a direct attack on Google's Chromebooks, which have pretty much owned the school market for years. I mean, that would be a huge shift for Apple, trying to get more people into their ecosystem from the ground up. And that's the thing, right? These big tech moves don't just reshape markets. They reshape the actual cities where we live. These power plays don't happen in some corporate bubble. They have a massive, real-world impact on our lives and our politics. So let's take a look at New York City, where a really interesting thing just happened. A new Democratic Socialist mayor, Zoran Mamdani, just got elected, and you can bet the tech world is paying close attention. There are really two ways to look at this. The bull case, or the optimistic view, is that his focus on making the city more affordable could actually attract the young talent that tech companies need to thrive. People even said his campaign had a startup vibe to it. But then there's the bear case, the worry that this could lead to an anti-business vibe, or maybe even higher taxes down the road. It's a really fascinating situation, and as Julie Samuels from Tech NYC says, the future of the city and the future of tech, they're completely tangled up together. It really boils down to this. Can a progressive mayor and one of the biggest engines of capitalism find a way to work together? And it just goes to show you, tech isn't just some isolated industry anymore. It's right at the center of our economy and our society. Okay, so let's zoom out and pull together the big takeaways from everything we've talked about. So, what's the big picture? First, we have these totally new battlegrounds, where the fight is all about who controls the user experience and the data. Second, there are massive capital wars going on. Trillions of dollars are on the line for hardware and talent to win the AI race. Third, we're seeing these huge, risky gambles from the big players, moves that will define their futures. And finally, tech is no longer on the sidelines. It's a central piece of how we run our cities and our society. And all of this really leads us to one final big question to leave you with. As these powerful forces, AI, big tech, reshape everything around us, who is really setting the terms? If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.